So Dinesh D'Souza, most people, well, at least on the right, know of him. So he was, and this is his wife. We're talking about, the big controversy with the H-1B visas and some comments Vivek and Elon have made. Here's the problem with the stuff where people are saying that Americans don't want to work as hard. Look, I work as hard as anybody else. Okay, many times, regardless of whether they're immigrants or not, work hard. Okay. The problem here is that there's this argument on the one side about you need this higher education, okay? And I'm not against that, but the people that are higher educated, at least in my profession, and I think it's probably across the board in the medical profession, is they have made it all about this higher education, and they have lost sight of how bedside care is the most important part. They've made it all about everybody going into leadership roles, okay? And so when the top of your profession is misguided, so misguided that they've made everything about letters after your name, then that's how the ethical problems start to seep in. And almost everywhere I've worked, that's happened. There's so many jobs I've had to leave, and I've talked about it. It's criminal what they do to get rid of you. Like the hospitals will set you up if you stand up for the right thing. They will. They will change the narcotic count in a Pyxis machine. They will. Because then they'll just get you to quit. Because they hang the nursing board over your head. So that there's a reason people don't speak up. So that's where I think the problem is, that Vivek isn't going to say, and Dinesh isn't going to say, and I'm not saying it's because I don't think they realize that that's where the problem is. If you're just somebody who doesn't care about doing the right thing, and I'm not saying, again, I'm not some Pollyanna. I'm just saying that if you're somebody that does try to do the right thing, you're going to find out very quickly in any big profession that is not looked upon kindly. Like all the people you work with will get it. They get it. They agree. But most will be quiet because you'll get nowhere. If anything, you will get screwed out of positions. And in this digital world, you definitely will have positions you're trying to apply for pulled out from under your feet. So you can say, yes, you just have to work harder. But if you don't have a system that is on an ethical standard of any kind, and nursing really does not operate on one, at least not for the people that set the standard of care, which is American Nurses Association. And part of their problem is that they go getting worldly with the UN, okay? So they lose complete sight of what's most important, which is their own backyard, and go on this, sustainability crap and, unsustainable world health and equity, and then that's now why they push the most, harmful racist things like DEI. But it didn't start with DEI, because I think people are trying to say on one hand that Americans don't work as hard. What difference does it make if you work hard, okay? I mean, yeah, people can work hard, but if you're in a system that's not ethical to begin with, then you're dealing with people that don't want to do the right thing, in which case then it becomes everything about, I'm just going to be all about money. I don't care. I'm just going to look the other way. I'm not going to do the right thing. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. To hell with everybody else. It's about me getting ahead. That's the problem here. It's not that Americans are lazy. Or that Americans are against higher education, although I think people, yes, you get educated, but then you're educated, and just as I said, I'm an associate degree nurse, but my profession says no to be anybody of any substance in nursing. You have to be a master's degree nurse, or at least a bachelor's degree. Okay, it didn't used to be like that, but the moment they went down this path of that, They have totally lost sight of everything. And if you look around at any major profession, that seems to be what the problem is. In nursing, it's been discussed for decades now about staffing, and yet it gets worse. Why does it get worse? Because the people that set the standard of care for my profession are all at the UN getting worldly with the Agenda 2030 agenda, which that's what has made things worse. So that's the part Vivek doesn't want to talk about. That's the part he doesn't want to talk about. It's the part nobody wants to talk about. So I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you're on an H-1B visa or you were born in this country. The fact is, if you care about standards and you want all these people talk about is they act like excellence is only about working hard. There's plenty of people that want to work hard. What ends up happening is you find out the very people that you're working hard for do not want you to speak up and do the right thing. And that, to some people, may be like, I don't care, I'll just do whatever they tell me. Okay. But there's other people that care about that. So then what happens is employees have a lack of respect for you. That's why I don't have any respect for C-suite executives. I mean, I'm not like the left who wants to just gun them down. I mean, that's ridiculous and insanity. Okay, but just leave me alone. That's sort of my attitude. Just leave me alone. Don't try to fill me with your bullshit that somebody above you is telling you to say. Okay, when we know it's all bullshit, like let's just call it out. It's bullshit. It's like that's what none of these people want to say. This isn't about that there's Americans that don't work hard enough. This isn't about, it's about the fact that, first of all, if a master degree nurse and a associate degree nurse take the exact same state board, so they're both RNs if they pass, then every bit of education that if your profession is telling you, no, this is what you have to do, and then all the employers sign on to that. So then they make associate degree nurses sign contracts saying if you don't get your bachelor's in this amount of time, we can fire you. Then what the problem is at the association level. And it's not just nursing. So none of these people know what the hell they're talking about. They don't. And again, it goes to the same problem that I see in my profession. The people setting the standard of care do not work at the bedside, so they shouldn't be setting the standard of care. They sit behind a computer and look at a damn spreadsheet and then think education is going to fix everything. More training is going to fix everything. No, the people that can fix things are the people that deal with this stuff every day, that are working at the bedside. And those people for decades have been saying, we need more staffing. And the damn CEOs of the hospital get away with their bullshit of continuing to, the past few years, the reason that the nursing unions hated Trump, okay, because I saw what they did in his first term. They didn't care that he was securing the border and eradicating trafficking, okay? They wanted open borders, again, because they decided to go to the UN and get worldly. And they decided to stick with that agenda. So that's what these people need to say. That's what Vivek needs to say, because that is what is hurting things. It's not that Americans don't want to work hard. And we don't want people just coming in, taking all the jobs, because it takes the pay grade down. It is what causes people to have to go and get two jobs. So don't give me this bullshit about working hard. I'm more than happy to work hard for any employer if they are an ethical employee. But right now, every hospital in the United States, almost all of them, they have decided it's okay for them to cut staff because they're never held accountable criminally. Never, ever held accountable criminally. The minute you start threatening these people that they're going to go to jail, then that will stop. They will make sure that they have more than enough staff. But what ends up happening over time is employees, especially ones that have a moral compass, they can't stand the bullshit anymore. So it's like, and right now, it's such a demoralizing profession that all of these things you're hearing from these people that have millions of followers, they don't know what they're talking about. Take it from the people that truly know. And the problem is you need to fix the moral compass before anything else. can be successful.